This week we have a pair of brews from one of the hottest new breweries in the country, Derbyshire's Pentrich Brewing Co. Founded by Joe Noble and Ryan Cummings in 2015, the pair started out like so many others as good home brewers, before stepping it up to the gypsy brewing at local brewery Landlocked, before going completely solo. And from the handful of brews I've had so far of theirs, it definitely seemed like the right thing to do, as those couple of beers have been nothing short of fantastic. So I'm expecting more of the same today, as we have ourselves a big West Coasty, and it may have even been named after yours truly, Laziest Worldwide. A bright, hoppy West Coast IPA with Chinook and Sentinel hops. Dank notes of pine and punchy citrus flavors dominate proceedings, with some light floral notes and a moderate bitterness on the finish. And like I said, I've had me a couple of their IPAs already, and they have all been real good stuff. So I'm expecting much more of the same here, although I'm hoping for a little bit more than just moderate bitterness in that finish. And at a nice weighty 7%, I'm sure it'll deliver. And as the previous brews I've had have all been East Coasters, I'm definitely hyped to see what their West Coast's all about. So let's kick back and relax. Let's get pouring. So it's surprisingly sweet on the nose. It's got some real berry aromas to it. There is a noticeable piney resinous note in there too, and it's almost a little juicy. It definitely has the nose of a hazy New Englander, not a classic West Coasty, and it does have a somewhat floral or herbal quality to it too, and a subtle orange or tangerine note just in behind. Oh, and that grapefruit is the first thing that really smacks you in the mouth. It is dry and it is bitter, but there is a softness to it too. And there's an almost rose petal-esque quality in the middles. Some subtle sweet berry notes in there as well, before that bitter grapefruit makes a reappearance and carries that bitterness right into the finish, where those piney notes really start to make their presence felt. But it is surprisingly floral in that finish too, and those floral notes add an almost countering sweetness to that bitterness. I'd say those floral notes almost give it a pink grapefruit type feel. And although it isn't textbook or classic West Coast, that sweetness and that floral note really do combine for something beautiful. And there is a lingering bitterness in the mouth. It is piney and ever so subtly herbally too, but still manages to maintain just an ever subtle note of those sweet floral aromas. And although they themselves called it moderate bitterness, I'd wager it's a little bit more than just moderate. And now we're down into the beer some, it's started to pick up some almost tea-like flavours. A nice blend of grassy green, but also a subtle note of dark black tea too, as well as some melon-like qualities. A textbook West Coaster? It most certainly wasn't. But I tell you what, I don't mind a single iota. Yes, it has all the hallmarks. That bitter, although subtly sweet, pink grapefruit. There are those piney and grassy notes. And of course, a classic lingering bitterness in the mouth. But it's those sweeter floral aromas that really capture your attention. They are completely unexpected, but that's what makes them so magical, and things just remain so beautifully balanced throughout, with just the addition of a subtle melon and some tea notes blending into those middles. Again, by no means a classic West Coast, but thoroughly enjoyable nonetheless. And yet another beautiful brew from the Pentrich guys. So the only wisdom I can leave you with, if you haven't got round to trying these guys out yet, what are you waiting for? Get ordering now.